God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to the 10th episode of Your Journey is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey. The expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey and to Your Journey is Not Over. Neither are to be copied, used, edited in any way without my consent. On this episode, I've decided to take a pause on my personal journey and take this opportunity to pay tribute to my late husband, Charles Randolph Jr. It will be a year Thursday. August 22nd, 2023 is when God called him home and the angels came and took him to heaven, the hardest day of my life. Even though I knew since June 6th, the day they told us nothing else could be done, the fight was over, that this day was inevitable, it was still earth-shattering when that day came. I wanted so many times throughout his illness to say, please don't leave me, but I could never say those words to my husband. He was helpless. We were helpless. Because of my childhood trauma, I became a type A personality, could control whatever, find a solution to anything, fix anything. Cancer was something I couldn't fix. I had no control, no solution. Again, I could not fix it. Even though I desperately wanted to, I told him so many times that if I could fix it, I would in a heartbeat, or I would trade places with him in a heartbeat. So many times throughout this last year, I have wished it was me instead of him. I didn't want to be the one left behind to pick up all the pieces and to be forced to create a whole new life without him. My life for the past 8 years was with him. We had created a nice, peaceful, loving, comfortable life. Was it perfect? I don't know anybody's life that is perfect, but it was actually the first healthy relationship I'd ever had in my entire life. Like I've said before in a previous podcast, my husband was the first person to actually know every single thing about me, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and accept and love me so unconditionally. We were more than husband and wife. We were best friends, a bond that will never be broken. I don't dwell on the fact that I only got 8 years with him. Instead, I thank God every day for every moment that I did get to spend with him. The life lessons, the love, the bond. And I rest assured that he is loving me, protecting me, and guiding me every day. If you knew my husband personally, then you most definitely knew how much he loves me. As you notice, I didn't use past tense because he still loves me. He will always love me, and I will always love him. That love is eternal. There is no space or time that can stop our love. I've told so many people this past year that it doesn't really matter what goes on here on earth. Whether I move on and find love again, or whatever the plan is for me in this life. I'm just riding the wave, getting through every day, living in the moment, because I know the minute God calls me home and I go to take my last breath, my husband will have me before I exhale that last breath. I'm so confident in that. So until then, I must carry on, and of course, my journey is not over. I've had a lot of widow and widowers reach out to me, and I'm so grateful that they felt comfortable reaching out to me. That's what we need to do, is reach out and connect to people that are somehow, and by different circumstances, of course, on a similar path of our journey. I call it a club that we were forced to join. I'm no expert at this, and I will never claim to be. I just have my own unique way of internalizing things, maybe so I can find some way, somehow, to logically explain things to my heart and my head. Again, my own little way. As a widow, I feel like I'm on the yellow brick road and not on my way to the Oz. My yellow brick road is on my way to myself. And along this yellow brick road, I'm finding my independence, my confidence, my worth, my balance, a love and acceptance of myself. And I'm still on the yellow brick road almost a year later. But I know at the end of this path that I am on, I will find me, the true, real me, not the perception of me. This last year has been the hardest and most challenging year of my life, and I have battled so many things and so many losses of people that I have loved, some a lifetime. But with God in my heart and in my soul, I'm still standing. And each day, I am stronger than I was yesterday. I know the loss and the devastation is crippling, and it shatters your world in a million pieces because everything you knew, everything you planned for your future, your entire world changes. I want to convey to everyone, anyone, that you're not alone, no matter what and who the loss is. And please don't let the loss of a loved one make you angry and bitter. Anger is fear, and it's okay to be scared. We all are. But one must face those fears with confidence and independence. And of course, with God right there ready to catch you anytime you fall. We as widows and widowers are going to stumble, fall, feel lost, but most important, we get back up and dust ourselves off and get back into the game of life as best as we can. I continue learning life lessons. School's not out, so there's still so much more that we have yet to learn. Some people call them stumbling blocks. I call them lessons, life lessons. Our loved ones would want us to continue our journey and not waste it. Don't isolate. Don't stop your life. Do your bucket list. Travel. Go for walks. Exercise. Try and find your joy and your happiness again. I know it's hard and I still have my moments and sometimes my days, but I always try to remember what my husband told me many, many times. He told me to not be sad, that he would always watch out and protect me and love me, and for me to travel and take us on the best adventures, to never feel guilty. He knew my heart. He told me no matter where I go in this world, that he will be right there next to me. He also told me to find love again. He told me many times that I have a pure, kind heart, and I still have so much love to give, and that he would want someone else to experience that with me. He told me, I'm not a selfish person. I want you to move on and find love again because I know these last 8 years have been the best years of my entire life. And that's all because of you, Tanya. I don't know what the future holds. I've learned through the last year that even though I was was type A personality, I've learned everything is out of my control. God has a plan for me. And so instead of me trying to control it or be OCD about the future, I just take a moment at a time, a day at a time, and let God have the complete control. He did anyway. So I don't know who I thought I was. What's the saying? When we make plans, God laughs because it's never our plans. It's always his plans. There's a lot more to say about this last year, and I will definitely go more into that later on in my journey. I do hope that my podcasts are helping somebody, anybody, and with the feedback that I receive daily, about 200 messages daily, I believe I'm accomplishing what God and my husband wanted me to do. Help people, speak out, shed the shame, turn pain to power, and most importantly, break perceptions. I do want to thank the thousands of people that have supported me, reached out to me, messaged me across the country and across the nation. I'm amazed when I return messages on how many people in the US and how many, many other countries that I hear from. Truly a blessing. To know I have reached that far is completely amazing to me. It's always been God and the love and the kindness of friends and strangers that have got me through my life. For those of you that do love me and support me, thank you. This concludes my podcast today, and I will be back August 29th. Until then, please always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows.